Mr. Chairman, I am the longest-serving enlisted member of the United States military to ever get elected to Congress in the history of this nation. And I'm one of two enlisted people in the history of the Naval Academy to sit on the Board of Visitors. Throughout my military career, I managed thousands and thousands of members of the military, men and women, from every branch of service except for Space Force. And I'm telling you right now, there's a reason that you get your hair cut in boot camp, and they put you in a uniform. And they try to remove all of the differences between us so that the only thing we see is a uniform. And by definition, when we're splitting ourselves up into these small groups, we are not being uniform. It's literally the definition of the word. So the Supreme Court case that's been quoted over and over and over again didn't address the service academies, specifically did not address them because there's distinct national security issues with that. They put it aside. So even that is disingenuous by saying that. And Chief Justice John Roberts was very clear when he wrote that. He also, this is the guy that wrote this, the way to stop discrimination on the basis of race is to stop discriminating on the basis of race. And we need to take that on board. And in fact, my colleague pointed out that some of these people feel like minorities. Well, we are. We're less than 1% of Americans that decide to raise our right hand and take an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. We're less than 1%, so we are a minority. But we're also a homogenous minority. It doesn't matter what the color of our skin is. I never asked anybody their political perspective. I never asked them what they did in the privacy of their own home, ever. And we never cared. And there were instances when people brought this up in the SEAL teams and we crushed them. Because the only thing we care about in the United States military, and the only thing we should be caring about, is whether or not you can shoot, move, and communicate. That's what we're concerned about. We don't care about your race, your gender, your sexual orientation. We don't care about any of that. And the second that we do, we become less of a military. So I'm not sure how I can be more clear about this. I strenuously oppose this amendment. I do respect my fellow sailor who submitted this, and I believe that his intent was good, but I believe that the outcome of this amendment passing would further erode the ability of our military to perform their functions. And by the way, the United States Marine Corps focuses on three things: mind, body, and spirit. And to say that religious clubs do not have a place in service academies are foolish. And this is why. Because they deal with the byproduct of lethality. I've had 21 of my friends, with the passing of Senior Chief Mike Day, 21 of my friends that I know personally commit suicide because they were not able to deal with the consequences of lethality. So these religious clubs are incredibly important to ground our servicemen and women in something that is whole and real and eternal, and that's their faith. So again, Mr. Chairman, I strongly do not support this amendment, and I urge my colleagues to vote against it. And with that, I yield back the remainder of my time.
Gentleman yields back.
Hey, listen, I was a member of the United States Navy SEAL teams, which is less than 1% of the Navy, which is part of the military, which is less than 1% of our population. And I cannot stress enough to my colleagues that the more separation we put between us by identifying ourselves as individuals, the less we can be uniform. And how you function as a team has got to be seamless. And I'm saying this from experience. I've lived and worked on 5 different continents and managed thousands and thousands of sailors. And you have to understand that when we separate ourselves intentionally, by definition, we cannot be as united as possible. And when we stop looking at each other because of our gender or our skin color, the more effective we are in the battle space. And that's been proven over and over and over again through time. So it is time to get rid of these clubs and organizations and all these things that separate service members from each other. Put on the uniform, pick up a gun, defend your country, learn how to shoot, move, and communicate, and then the world will be a safer place. And with that, I yield back the remainder of my time.